Hello, my name is Hassan Nis and welcome to Data-Driven Discussions. In today's discussion, I will be talking about the 3 V's used in big data, more specifically how the 3 V's are used in modern day regarding social media. The importance of discussing data within social media is because social media has become such a daily practice in all our lives, not only because of the traditional uses such as taking selfies, posting videos, commenting and liking. It has become more than that. It is now used for different fields, especially businesses, advertising, marketing. So in this discussion, I'll be talking about the 3 V's as how it's been used in social media and how it has evolved. The social media that will be discussed today will be Instagram. And later on in the podcast, I will be transitioning to YouTube to mention how influencers have used a mix of social media and the 3 V's to enhance their influential status. To begin, let's talk about the V's. Today's discussion will talk about 3 V's, in particular volume, velocity, and variety. But let's have a brief history in where they came from. The 3 V's were established in 2001 by Doug Laney, where Laney explained that if data fulfilled the ideology of the 3 V's, it could then be regarded as big data. But what are the ideologies of the V's? First, there is volume. Volume pertains to the amount of data there is, and since we are focusing on social media, that means how many users there are, how many pictures and videos there are, how many followers there are, how many comments there are, you get the idea. However, some businesses may not use volume to its full potential, as many organizations or businesses tend to get a high amount of volume and be done, as their idea is that now that we have met the ideology of big data and volume, our organization is at its best. We have the most amount of data, we have the most amount of users. How can anyone beat us? Yet, as most users of social media know, Instagram has always been known as the most used social media. Instagram ranks the fourth most popular social media under Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp. The reason for ranking under Facebook, in my opinion, is because Facebook was released 6 years earlier. If Instagram was released 6 years earlier, I definitely think Instagram will be at the highest. However, another reason why Instagram has become the most popular social media is because it did not stop once it reached the highest volume. It used the volume it had to enhance on what they're already doing. From this graph, it is recognizable that Instagram was growing in its users at a consistent rate, which we will come back to later on. Yet the number of users it had was growing and growing. This showed that Instagram was using volumes to its strength, but how did they actually use volume to their strength? Instagram saw they had a certain amount of volume because of a certain idea, as they were either to be able to post selfies or take videos. Instagram decided to work on those ideas to develop a much more strengthened feature, which not only appealed to the audience they had, but also started to bring in more users, which connects to our second V. The second V is velocity, and the velocity is the growth of data. And as we can see from the graph, Instagram grew at a significant rate. But how did they manage to grow an application that started from 50 million to 1 billion in only a matter of 6 years, as Instagram in 2013 had 110 million, but 10 years later grew to 2.5 billion. This was done by analyzing each year of velocity. Each year was a significant rate of growth, and Instagram was getting bigger and bigger by the day. And each year, those patterns and trends were analyzed, as this year, this many users created a profile because Instagram released this feature. Instagram recognized that because of their new ideas, it started to bring in more and more users. This is why Instagram is now full of so many more features than it traditionally was, as the traditional use of Instagram used to be being able to take a selfie, post it, and commenting and liking. But now there is so much more that you can do, and this directly leads to our last V, Our last V being variety, and this connected to velocity because velocity grew because Instagram recognized that new ideas brought in more users. This means Instagram achieved the last V of variety. Instagram started bringing more features as Instagram brought in Instagram Live, Instagram TV, Instagram Stories, and so much more. This actually targeted different audiences and grew Instagram to what it is today. Variety can be seen as different types of data, but what are you doing with that different type of data? Instagram was using the different type of data it had to target different audiences, which grew its velocity and grew its variety. This is why, again, Instagram is now at the top of social media because it used the freebies to its potential. So, now that is the first part of today's discussion as how the freebies have been used in social media. Let's get more specific. Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube all have their own content creators and influencers. But how have these people who started with 10 or 20 followers or subscribers now become worldwide known influencers? The reason behind it is because of the freebies. As Instagram has used the freebies to serve for its own purpose, social media influencers have done the same thing. In today's discussion, the social media superstar that we will discuss is KSI. KSI is a YouTuber, singer, boxer, entrepreneur, and so much more. But KSI started from nowhere. KSI started making content in 2009, where he was making FIFA videos, which attracted subscribers who enjoyed watching gameplay tutorials with funny commentary. A little brief history on the number of subscribers KSI has gained since the start of his career. At the end of 2009, KSI was approximately at 1,000 subscribers. 2 years later, in 2011, he reached 100,000. At the start of 2013, he reached 1 million. Mid-2015, he reached 10 million. 4 years later, he reached 20 million. And at present day, he has 24.1 million subscribers. KSI has definitely grown at a rate which is phenomenal. But how has he actually done it? The answer is by using the freebies. But then you will ask, how has a YouTuber used the freebies? And I will explain how. KSI was releasing content to a certain target audience which got him a limited amount of volume. His FIFA videos were attracting those who enjoyed that content and got him to 1,000 subscribers. And he recognized the potential of those FIFA videos. KSI saw that FIFA videos got him to a certain amount of volume, but what can he do with the same content to get more volume? And the idea was KSI mainly focused on the last V, which is variety. KSI used the initial content, which was FIFA videos, and started to add a twist onto them. He started to play with his friends, his family. He started to add challenges to his FIFA videos, which then attracted more subscribers. And as you can see, from 2009 and 2011, he gained 99,000 subscribers. This meant by achieving a different variety of content, KSI was increasing his velocity to increase his volume. This is really smart as many of the free Vs work in the order of volume, velocity, and variety, that once you gain a certain amount of volume, you can then analyze the velocity and release more variety. However, it seems in KSI's case, velocity and variety could be switched over. In 2011, KSI was at a massive amount of volume, but then gained 900,000 subscribers within 2 years to reach 1 million. And he already had a high amount of volume, was at a constant velocity, and was releasing a variety of content. KSI had achieved the ideology of becoming a big data influencer. However, you will have thought he would have stopped there. At the present day, KSI is a 24.1 million subscriber YouTuber, but again has achieved this by following the lessons he had learned prior in his YouTube career. KSI had actually become a singer early on in his YouTube career. This was another form of variety. But why did KSI make this move into entertainment? KSI understood that at the time singers attracted much more audience than YouTubers as they were more mainstreamed. Mainstream entertainers had a much higher volume and attracted a much higher audience. By establishing a foundation in singing, KSI had now obtained a different variety of data. By growing his influential status in other fields, he achieved a much higher volume. In addition to singing, KSI is also a boxer, which again, KSI saw the opportunity that boxing is a sport loved by many, and not many boxing fans will know who KSI is. KSI recognized that if he put his foot into the world of boxing, he will attract many more subscribers, gaining a higher volume. Lastly, KSI has a joint ownership with Logan Paul on a company named Prime Hydration. KSI knew that his subscribers were full of kids, teenagers, adults, and all of his subscribers, followers will want to get this beverage. And in the news in 2023, many schools have banned Prime Hydration from being in their schools. Many supermarkets have been asked to supply Prime. This has made KSI even more famous as Prime has now brought too much attention to creators of their beverage as KSI. KSI has not only become not only a YouTuber, he's now got attention from audiences singing, boxing, and drinkers of energy drinks. However, Prime increased his volume as now kids who wanted Prime were asking their parents and grandparents. So the age range of people who never knew who KSI was actually are starting to know who KSI is because their kids are starting to evolve with them. So to summarize, KSI has definitely used variety in his strength and advantage to push his career into a different level. And the more variety he generated, the more audience he targeted, which increased the growth of his influence, making him the biggest name in the United Kingdom. So I thank you all for today's discussion. I thank you for joining me today. I hope you all have a great day, and until next time, goodbye.